We try to go and do it every Monday, but it just doesn't happen. But we try. When I'm going really well, it gets changed every week. And it would probably, you would see it by Tuesday morning. It would get changed during Monday, and you would see it Tuesday morning. When the world is working perfectly, I'll get a 6-week run of doing it brilliantly, and then it gets busy. And you know, in a school this size, and this maybe has to do with my personality type, my capacity as an administrator, whatever. Pretty much I'm the only one who does the sign. And if I haven't done something on the sign, no one does until the BSM, the business service manager, goes, oh gosh, you know, we need the money in, and then it changes into that very informational, you do this. Whereas, as I explained on the phone, and for several reasons, and I can go through those, the western side is my little bit more interesting side. I don't give a stuff about the eastern side. In fact, I basically say to the DP and the BSM and the girls in the office, oh, what do we need to put up? What's happening? Yeah, put it up there, whatever. It's harder to see. So, you know, that's the information, you know, Arts Council's money, whatever, camp money's due. Western side is my message to everyone, not just to my community, because I do also very consciously recognise that that is the little window that the world has to Wilsonton. You know, not that many people decide to look up our website, so unless they come here. But everyone who drives on the road reads a sign. And you talk to anyone in town, and if there's someone who's got a decent sign, be it a church, be it a school, and you start to get a notice that that's a really good. For a long time there, I think it's St Bartholomew's over.
Yeah, near Gavin School.
They used to have great signs. And I don't live over there, but you'd always know, gee, I thought, oh yeah, look, what's this sign? And the other one was, I think it was St James on the Russell Street. I think that's St James. For a while there, they had some pretty interesting stuff. And churches seem to get, mate, they must have some church. Central. Because you go, so I can now just go to drive through Brisbane and go, oh, I've seen that sign before. So they've gone through the Holy Book and found something. But it creates interest and you start to look for it. If you're driving in from Kingsthorpe or Oakey every day, you're going to be bored. And I've got a church sign 30 metres or 20 metres away that I'm in competition with. Well, I'm not actually, and I don't mean to say that I was actually trying to win competition, but I was trying to create interest in our school. And when I first got here, I thought, it's time to say there's a new boss, there's a different one. And the funny thing is it filters. It took a long time, but the message started to filter back. Oh, I like your sign. Oh, so-and-so, oh, my husband goes there, he says he reads your sign all the time. So finally I started getting feedback, and I thought people do read the sign.
So this is from people in the school community, or people outside the school?
People from outside the school community, filtering back through different channels. You know, you're reading someone who, like for example, I was reading Gowrie State School, and the woman who answers the office, the phone in the office, she drives this way. She said, oh, I just can't wait to see so and see what you got this week. Other people I know, I met, who have a farm outside of town for the weekend. Long story short, met them, blah, 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 where you was there? Oh, read your sign. We always look at your sign to see what you've written. We can only read it when we come in, but we try to look at it on the way out. And I thought, oh good, it's got, I know that people are starting to read the sign. So, yes, I put messages there for us as a school community that relate a lot to what we talk. That's my little window to the world to say we're a good place. And some days of the week I just want to entertain people. I literally sometimes put up stuff to entertain the drivers. I mean, to be perfectly candid, it will probably have almost nothing to do other than I want to make something thought-provoking for people who drive that road every day. I did tell you, and it is a fact, we've had 3 accidents right out there between that driveway and this driveway. Very bad place to park. And on 2 of the occasions, people did say they were honest. I was reading inside. I was there inside, gone across and just straight into it. And that's a fact.
Flattering it away.
And flattening in other ways.
A backhanded compliment, but oh dear. And as a result, it was actually when the last one happened, I was actually on a week's leave in New Zealand, and the deputy went, oh, we've got to make a car park, and he put a bobcat in, and we made that car park out here, which was there. Twice as large to get more cars off the road. So and then he, it was the big joke, like we've got to stop putting interesting stuff on the side. We've got to put the crap back.
So your purpose then for the on the western facing side, both entertainment but also then
it's entertainment.
It's the message. Draw attention to the fact that there's a school here that might be doing interesting things because it says interesting things. Is that
which is a marketing thing. And initially I probably thought, I can do this and make it look good and people think it's a good school, but it's become more than that for me. It's become, as I said, I've started to feel like the old man, and it's my job to, within our community, is to preach some messages that hopefully people will go back, think about. It's not about thought of the day, but sometimes thought of the day is good. And so that's what it's about. For me, it's very much about messages that this is a good place, that we're not just like every other school, and it's not just about Arts Council.
But it's more than just a blatant advertisement, though, isn't it? You're not drawing on things to say this is a great place just because it is a great place.
No, I put up stuff that honestly, if I think about something, and I'll put it up. I mean, my favourite one is the one I've put up, the supermodel one. Want to be a supermodel? Be one for your kids. That's my favourite, I think. Because it's the one I always remember out of all the ones I've done, and I try to work on them. And we've got the little thing that you write, it has all the right number of boxes. No, it's not going to work in there, and it takes.
Well, but so you've got like a squared, because you've got the number of okay. It's like a Twitter.
Yeah, in a sense. How many characters can I put in? And it's And Daryl is my groundsman who does it for me. He'll sometimes come in and go, "You haven't done a sign." I go, "All right." And he stands there and he knows it puts it puts pressure on me, because I go, right, the eastern side of the, and I just look at my calendar and go, "What's on?" Oh, he'll say, "Oh, I think there's this." I go, "Yeah, I know," and I write something for the east side. The western side, he sometimes, and he comments to me, and then like Daryl's, your salt of the earth type of guy. So sometimes I've written stuff, he's gone, "That's just stupid." And I said, "Yeah, but it means this." And if he goes, "Yeah, okay," it gets up. But if he says to me,
so he's your community connection.
Oh, sometimes he's the guy who is the first person to read it every time without fail.
Yeah.
And he'll stand there and read it, and he'll tell me what he thinks of it.
Yeah, right.
And he likes some of them, and he doesn't like others, and others he goes, "What does that mean?" And he's not stupid at all. He's quite an intelligent man. But but if he says to me, I go, "Right, okay, maybe that's wrong." And there are times that I'll say to him, "Well, what about that?" And he says, "What if you say this?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, I know." So sometimes it's collaborative, because I'll either write it down, because he's got to pick it up from his book, which is down the front. He normally meets me here, but sometimes I'll be walking through and he says, "Message," I go, "All right," and then everyone goes, "Oh, what are you writing?" Because it's now become a point of interest for this building. And
what about the rest of the staff, the teaching staff?
People will make a comment. By and large, you don't. Which then at times I reflect what I put out in the newsletter. I will reflect that back on the sign. Not every time, but sometimes. Which sometimes you'll look at and go, "What's that about?" But if you read the newsletter, you know what that was about.
So as a general community member, a passerby, where we might be a little bit not perplexed, but at least we think, "Well, what is that about?" If we were a member of the school community more directly, we would have a better opportunity to slash that. So different levels of
at various times. A lot of what I put up there is for
standalone.
The earnings, learnings, divided and stuff. I put a maths one up this week.
I saw that one. Yes.
Now I've got a maths one up, and someone said to me, actually, the feedback I got about that one is they would much prefer to have seen not the word divided but shared. And I said, "Well, it's mathematical." They said, "Shared's mathematical." I said, "That's a fair point."